We're live. Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Call, and I am going to draw one of my comic pages. This is a page from Age of Night. We finished our most recent I Am the First page, and so we're going to do an Age of Night page now. So Age of Night is my webcomic. I am working on chapter 27, page 20. As you can see, I have everything all nice and laid out here. I put down my perspective grids ahead of time because they're not super fun to watch me draw. I have my thumbnail over here. I've got my script over here as well, so that I can keep an eye on both of those. Check what I'm doing. I feel like my camera is like weirdly close. Can we back up a little bit? Is that better? Let's see if that feels a little bit better. We'll try that. Just felt a little too close. Okay. So I'm going to start out by just kind of roughing in some panels, just getting a basic idea of what's going to go in them. Got my thumbnail right off to the side so I can look at it as I'm working. I'm actually going to put it like above where I am so it's a little easier. I don't have to like look over my arm while I'm drawing. And we're just going to start putting in the basic shapes of where stuff is going to go. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hey, Spud. How are you doing this evening? All right, and again, I always make sure that I have my speech bubbles kind of planned out as I go, that I leave space for them. Spud says they're doing pretty good. Decided to put off mowing my yard another day. That's fine. I support this decision. We finally got our first frost here, like first serious frost, because we had like last week, midweek last week, we had like a light frost that didn't really damage anything. And then a few days after that, we had a hard frost and killed all of the tender plants, which is fine because I was getting toward the end of what I could like mentally deal with as far as harvest goes anyway. I've got like some root vegetables left and the like the tomatoes I had already picked that are just ripening up and I can turn into some sauce or something in a couple of days. But I was like, okay, I've kind of had enough. I'm okay with this at this point. It's not like the years where it happens super early and it's like, oh no, none of my stuff had a chance. Actually, I'm gonna have her arm going that way. We have 4 fig trees, and it's always a race to see if we get much off them before a frost. Yeah, I have a few plants that it's like that, where it's like some years I get nothing because the frost beats me to it. Like last year, I got a bunch of peppers. This year, nothing. Peppers were not fast enough. This past weekend, I was at BCTC's Weekend of the Wicked, which was like the Bangor Comic and Toy Cons. They did like a horror weekend event type thing. And it was okay. It wasn't great. It was not very well attended, and which is disappointing. It's always a bummer when that happens because you're like really hoping that you get a good turnout, but all I can do is show up and do the best that I can. I can't control how many people come in the door. I still had a very good time. It was just not as many attendees as I think we all would have liked or expected. I feel like this figure is too big. I'm going to do this figure over here, and then I'm going to erase this right now because he's too big. Because otherwise the other figure is not going to fit under where the word balloons are. So we're going to try that again. Story Comic says, I'm here. Hello. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. We're just talking about our weekend and how our weekends went. Are you drawing a henge? I am not drawing a henge. Right now I am struggling to draw a couple of figures in perspective. Try to keep them looking correct in this like top-down view. But I was also just glad to go to a convention because I missed the last one because I had been sick right when it happened. So that was good. Let's see, we've got a post here. We're going to have another post back here. Edge of this building back here. Maybe some more like odds and ends. All right. It's not a henge, it's like an awning where there's some stuff. More word balloons. Hey, Hungry. Thanks so much for joining me. I feel like Fell is like slouching there. I need to correct his posture a little bit here. couple more word balloons down at the bottom here. One of those is actually fairly small. All right, and then block in the figures on the very last one here. Fell kind of leaning up against this post here. The other one would be like back here a bit. There's the line of the back of the building there. Hey, someone saying, thanks so much for joining us. Oh, that's too far over. I'll scoot this way a little bit. Nope, too big. Too big. I keep on making these figures too big. Too big. You gotta make them smaller. Alright, got various boxes and barrels and things under this awning here. Which actually I want this to come down here. Alright. Okay, so everything is roughed in. We're only like 15 minutes in, so that's not bad. So now I have a basic idea of where everything is going on this page, and we can start tightening these up. I'm going to sharpen my pencil, though, assuming I can find my pencil sharpener. Huh. Is it on the floor? Did I drop it? Oh, jeez. I don't see it. I don't know where it went. Do you see my pencil sharpener, anyone? This one. The barrel looking one. Please stand by while I deal with the fact that I'm a wreck.
The barrel one with like multiple holes in the top?
No, it's just got one hole in the top, but yeah, it's like blue, has a black top. I don't see it anywhere. I don't see it on the floor either. I don't know what I did with my pencil sharpener. Oh, yeah. It's not over with my other stuff. Okay, well that's fun. All right, I guess we'll have to do this for right now. So this is fun. It's not in there. I wouldn't bring it in that because it would make a mess. So I'm going to show you this fun old school tool here. This is a little paddle full of bits of sandpaper. I'm going to take off this gross one on the top here and toss it. Now I've got some nice clean sandpaper. I'm going to move my page because it's going to make a mess, just so you know. So what you do, me in the case of the missing pencil sharpener, you are correct. It's round, so it probably like hit the floor and rolled under something. So I'll have to turn the lights on and dig around for it with a flashlight later. But I'm not gonna make you people wait while I do that. So I'll show you how to sharpen your pencil the old school way without a pencil sharpener, especially for something like this where you can't use a knife. So you have a piece of sandpaper. This is made specifically to use with drawing tools. It's like a little like cardboard paddle of different sheets of sandpaper. It's very fine grain, and you extend your pencil tip a little bit, and you just put it at a nice shallow angle, and you just kind of roll it slowly as you go back and forth, and check your point every once in a while. Hey, I'm getting a nice little point there. It's a little asymmetrical because I don't do it this way very often, so my technique is not great. Yeah, that's better. We can make that work. And then this, you can just kind of like tap this off, like all the bits that are just kind of hanging out there. You can just kind of tap off into the trash, and most of it will, as you can see, most of it will come off. What's in there is like embedded in the sandpaper and will stay in there until this gets so gunked up that you can't use it anymore. So. All right, that's what you do when you can't find your pencil sharpener. And thankfully, I at least have my little sandpaper stick close by. I'm a disaster. I also have an eraser nearby. All right, but we can start tightening some of this up. Got Wen's face doing a concern here. So I'm pretty sure that the event that I was just at this last weekend. I think that's my last one for this year. I don't have anything else coming up as far as a convention where I will be selling my wares for the rest of 2022. What? Get that to go up a little bit. All right. Yay, we have a panel done. Yay. Where's my other eraser? That's the one I was looking for. There we go. All right, we've got the back of Thel's head here. So we got to get what is the stuff? What is the stuff on his back? What is that situation? He's got his two swords on his back. Which one is on that side? That'll be his sword. And then his other sword is like over here. You're not really going to see it because it's being blocked by this panel. That's okay. I'm going to try to avoid having some ridiculously horrible tangents here. Maybe if I put it in between there. All right, I gotta figure out where Wen's features go over here. She's kind of looking over her shoulder at Phil. I don't like where that line's going. Let's try that again. Oh my gosh, with these horrible tangents. No, we don't want to do that. Let's not do that, please. Horrible. I'm going to have some kind of very, vaguely described stuff going on back here. All right, I need to sharpen again with my goofy piece of sandpaper. Because that's the life we're living right now. All right, that worked. And we'll tighten some of this up here. This panel had been quite vague, so it took, and there's a lot of overlapping pieces. So it takes a little bit of effort to get them all figured out before I start really committing to where I want these lines and putting in details. He's got a little scarf situation here. His hair is just kind of peeking over the edge of. Got his hair up going. This is a bleed panel all the way at the top here. So this is, some of it will not actually be fully reproduced. Some of it will get cut off in printing, but it should go right to the edge of the paper is the idea. And here's the tip of his other sword. I'm going to have just some kind of suggestions of boxes and things over here that are mostly going to be all shadowy. Boxes and barrels over here. Another one of these posts. Oops. All right, let's get Wen a little bit more solidified over here. Clean up some of our underdrawing. She's looking back over her shoulder at Phil. All right. Getting somewhere on this panel now. I feel like I'm going to confuse myself that is supposed to be her necklace chain, not like the edge of her hood there. I'm gonna erase that. I'm gonna try to draw it a little bit more clearly. There we go. We're gonna make the little loop-de-loops so that I don't mess myself up later when I go to ink this. I don't want to make that mistake and then be annoyed and have to find a way to fix it. Spending some quality time with some whiteout. All right, her skirt of her robe is kind of like a billow around her because she's sitting. Post that is hopefully not making as bad of a. I'm going to scoot that over a little bit because that's still making not a great tangent. And this is all going to be underside of this awning. All right, need to sharpen some more. I will say that this doesn't seem to last super long, but it's probably just my technique. I probably just need to work on my technique here to get a better point. And try not to make a huge mess while I do it. Is that better? Maybe. That's looking better. I don't know. I had like kind of a disaster in here last night where I accidentally knocked over a drinking glass, like a pint glass, with my elbow. And if it had just hit the carpet, it probably would have been fine. But instead, it hit the metal leg of my drafting stool. And so it exploded. Like, it didn't just crack, it exploded. Many, many pieces. And I'm like sitting in the middle, exploded all over the carpet. So I'm just like sitting in the middle of this like minefield of broken glass, just like, cool, this is fun. And thankfully my husband was in here and was able to help me clean it up while he vacuumed up all around me while I like picked up big pieces and put them in a coffee can. And I was just like, why is this happening? But I would not be surprised if I had like knocked stuff off my desk during all of that and just didn't like realize it at the time. So it's very possible that my pencil sharpener got displaced in that little shuffle. All right, we've got a cart back here. Some kind of cow-like creature over here pulling it. Got a couple of buildings over here. I'm just kind of fudging the perspective back here because it's not super relevant. This is all going to be very lightly added in so that you know it's there, but not anymore. Not really any more detailed than that. Okay, so we've got some vague suggestions there. So now we can move on to our next one. We're at 8. Okay, so we've got like 20 minutes left. That's not bad. We can start getting a little bit more detail in Thell's figure here. Get his swords. Can't forget the swords. He's a sword guy. He needs his swords. Okay, that looks like I got most of the important bits on Thel there. Let's... Right. Gotta figure out where all the actual, like, bits go. Oh, wait, she has that tucked in when she goes to the, she has that, she's been keeping the, Heart of Nora tucked in and hidden while they're in this town, so we're gonna keep that kind of tucked away. Oh yeah, I wanted her hand like on her lap, so we're gonna have it like, or just kind of like resting on her knee, I guess. All right. Okay, I think we've got a good idea here. They're definitely looking a lot more solid than they were a few minutes ago, so that's an improvement. I wonder if my pencil sharpener fell in my trash can. Would not be the first time such a thing has happened. Gotta get all the little lines of Thel's face just so. It's a fairly small drawing of his face, but we want it to still look like him, which can be kind of tricky, not losing the distinguishing features and proportions of characters as you scale them down really far. His hair's not quite that scruffy yet. Small face. Very small face. You are correct. It is. It's like the size of my fingernail. It is a rather small face. And that's better. There we go. Could put that face on your fingernail and be so fancy. Oh, it's oh, it's M. I did not realize that. I did not realize that was you. Thanks so much for joining me, M, aka Abso. I will not even attempt to say your screen name because I will mess it up. Because it is intentionally difficult. There's like a term for that where you there's like a language term for that where you like switch the beginning sounds of a couple of words in a common phrase. Because it's absolutely flutely. I managed it. It is very trolly, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. I enjoy it a whole bunch. But like when people say like bass-ackwards, that sort of thing, there's like a term for that where you like switch those beginning sounds. I don't know what it is. I just feel like there has to be. There has to be a term for that. There's a term for like every ridiculous thing you could do in English. A word sounds mix it up. Sure. We'll go with that. I'm going to be like compelled to look this up when the stream is over. All right. Swords. Sword guys gotta have swords. All right. Fell exists now. Very technical. That is a very technical term. All right. We are at less than 10 minutes left on this stream. I only do this for like an hour because then like I need to go get some water, and you should probably go get some water and get up and stretch. It's all good things for us to do. We need to take care of our meat suits. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do in a few minutes here. But since we're at the end of the stream, the last 10 minutes of the stream, I'm going to do YouTube things and remind you, I'm Amanda Call. This is my YouTube channel where I do these live streams every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, like most. Spoonerism? Is that what it's called? I'm feeding my meat suit. Good. Feed the meat suit. I do these art streams almost every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you like them, you should subscribe to the channel, like the video, and tell your friends about it and all that fun stuff. Subscribing to the channel is also a good idea because then, like, if I don't stream at the usual time for whatever reason, you can still, like, be notified of when the stream is happening. So, because sometimes life happens and we don't get to do things exactly at the time we would like to. This that I've been working on is a page from my webcomic, Age of Night. Age of Night is available to read online for free at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. And while you can read the whole thing for free, you can also help support me by becoming a patron. You can support me on patreon.com/ageofnight. And all of my patrons get their Age of Night pages a week early. So whatever page is going live to the public this week, my patrons already saw it last week. They'll get to see the next one. It's pretty cool. Abso says, I'm being your mod, I guess. I like that. I appreciate you being my mod. Sometimes I feel like I need one, and it's just me. I'm just like, I guess I'll just look up and hope that there's no bots doing terrible things in my comments section. Usually there aren't. Every once in a while they sneak in. And I'm just like, oh, must be having a successful evening where the bots have decided to notice me. If you would like to follow me on the various social medias, I also have a Twitter at Age of Night and Instagram and TikTok at Amanda Call Art. Those are good places to keep up to date with whatever I'm working on. I think that's like it for right now, because I don't have any more conventions coming up for a while. I'm entering my winter draw a bunch of comics and hibernate phase. Getting ready for that phase. TikTok, yeah, it's mostly like videos of my chickens and stuff. And sometimes art, mostly chickens. I am also too old for that. I basically got a TikTok on a dare. If Story Comic is still in the chat, they could tell you all about it. I'm not super active on there, but occasionally I upload a video. I try not to be too terribly cringy. I try not to be the terrible cringy millennial on TikTok. Someone says, did some searching to be sure. Yes, spoonerism is the correct word for it. We have a term. Thank you, someone saying. That's amazing. I love that you actually know and provided the term for that. That dates me. Thank you so much for sharing that, for looking that up and confirming it and sharing it. I greatly appreciate that. We learned something new tonight. All right, I think that's gonna do it. Finish putting this little shadow in here. That's gonna do that for this evening. So we started at the top of the hour with just a bunch of empty squares and a couple of perspective grids. We've got the whole thing roughed in so we know where all our little components are going on this page. And we've got 2 panels completely drawn. One panel that's like most of the way there. We still got to hammer out the background a little bit, but most of the way there. And then we only have 3 panels left. So next week, we're going to continue with drawing the rest of these panels and maybe even start on lettering. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. I will see you next time. Bye.